Okay, great. Because it's a Sway Pro site, I have no PowerPoint. And actually, it gives me great joy to say that I have no PowerPoint, right? So, what happened is that, let me see. So, the first thing I wanted to say is essentially is that we are very grateful for all the sponsors. Though it may be virtual, okay, and usually the cost is about the venue and everything. So this time around, we have taken all the money that's contributed by all the companies and giving it back to you, right? So, and the way to do it, one of the best gifts we have given you is masterclass, right? And masterclass. Yeah. So this is really excellent, and that's why you guys have to go in and win the prizes, right? Win the prizes. So far, I'm on a web page. It's on Sway. It's really going in the easy, and I put it together just with a few clicks, right? And what I would talk about Sway is actually to wanted to give an acronym. So Sway, I say with a yearning. And what is the yearning? The yearning is it for students to learn, right? So for a longest time, the best way to communicate is via email. You send something like a resume to an email, and you ask that question: did they receive it? Email has been around for 50 years. It's an old technology. That's why there are a lot of things that they don't do. Do you know how much time they spend reading it? Did they even share it with enough people? So that you can figure out, is it really worthwhile for you to even go in and do to attend the interview? Is this company what they want to be? So the question that I always ask, when you send a resume, does the resume belongs to you or the employer? And if you emailed it, obviously it became a property of the employer, but actually it's your property. So the question is, if they didn't employ you, should they even have a digital copy of your details? Okay, that is the key thing, right? So the first thing I ask about this is this question is, do you actually write? By the way, you'll be getting this way. So everything that you see here, like for example, this is an hour and 30 minutes video, right? From one of my favorite teachers around. He's Larry McKerney from the University of Chicago, right? And he has this very great idea about people in their education, right? By the time you reach university, you could have been writing for at least 12 to 15 years, right? And the question is, you think you are probably good, right? But are you really good? And here his argument is that actually university tries to give you the illusion you're good because you always get evaluated. As a teacher, the teacher will have to read your entire thing and tell you what is good, what is bad. But in real life, readers are not like that. They don't. So if you write something that is relevant, they will actually stop. So a lot of us, when we write, then we think, right? So, and he says that's wrong. What happens is that if you want to be very clear, you have to make sure is that you must do the thinking before you're writing. So this video, which I shared with you, is fantastic. It's an hour and 30 minutes long. And I really, really wish someone shared this with me while I was in university, not after I leave university, because I've learned all the bad ways to actually be able to do that, right? So you will be getting this, okay? But the University of Chicago is really, really a great place to go into. And one of its most powerful is actually its alumni, right? And there are many, many good writers. And one of them I want to introduce is a boy called Tan Yao Zhen. Actually, he is my friend's he's my friend's, my classmate's son, right? And if you look at it carefully, one of the things that he actually did, he actually interviewed Obama. He was a Malaysian student interviewing President Obama when he did the presidential election, right? So they are Malaysians can write, right? It depends where they go, right? And in fact, a Malaysian by the name of Ed Yong, okay, who is of course no longer Malaysian, right, won the Pulitzer Prize for writing, for explanatory reporting. So again, I will share this reference to you. He writes fantastic about microbes, about all the things that you can't see but kills you, like coronavirus. Interesting, really, really groundbreaking work. And his stuff won him, and another famous Malaysian. So we can write. That's what I want to share. Okay, and we are good people who can write. So we ask this question: what are the three most important communication that a student will need to produce, right? And I would argue it would be your resume, your dissertation, and if you are involved in any activities where you need to report to teachers and parents, you will be involved. Or if you are a leader, you will actually be in there producing. These are probably the most critical communication that a student will produce. However, I hope everybody can hear this video.
We got a video. There's no noise. There's no sound.
Oh, no sound? Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Okay. In any way, I will share this video with you. You will see. But essentially, the idea is that your resume usually really ignore quite quickly, and then as a fresh graduate, it's very, very tough to get the thing. So truth be told, it is very difficult to write a resume that stand out, because you're not the only one. There are many people who are actually graduating at the same time, and as a result, they will spend an average of 6 seconds looking at your resume. So here's another good talk about how to actually write the perfect resume. Yeah, this is very, very important. And
Rico,
yes.
I see that you have a lot of videos. Maybe you want to check whether have you shared out the computer sound so that people can hear the sound as well.
That's
the three dots on top. The three dots on top.
I know.
Right.
Just let me just come in. Oh, where is my? I can't seem to tap between my. Wait. Okay, the three top on top. Computer sound.
Okay, so you unshare your thing first.
Unshare. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and then you share again.
Share, and then with computer sound, right?
Yeah, with computer sound, yes.
Oh, include computer sound. That's right. Okay, sorry.
Hey, thanks.
Sorry, that's a good thing. Okay, so let me just play that back to make sure you guys can read it, watch it again. I love this video.
Sorry. If you haven't been job hunting recently,
yes,
here's what it's like.
Here's the resume you asked for. Cool, thanks. So where'd you go to school? It's on my resume. Any relevant work experience? Oh, this is an entry-level job, right? Yeah, that's why we're just looking for like 3 to 5 years of relevant work experience. I don't have that. Well, you'll hear from us.
And then you never hear from them. And
I love YouTube. They have so much good material that you can actually combine. And this is one of the best things about Sway. It can actually help you to pull videos from everywhere and put it into your environment. So looking at this, that there is a lot of things to going to getting your YouTube, getting your content out. But to be fair, employers, like Google's like a company like Google, they get 30,000 resume a day, and a lot of as a result, a lot of the leading schools, the leading companies are using AI application to track resume. So getting noticed is one of the most important barrier that you need to overcome when it comes to sending your resume, right? So the idea is, how do you differentiate? So I promised to help one of I was talking to one of my friend who is a professor, and I asked him this question: hey, how do I get a student and help him to build a better resume? So he sent me one of his students. He sent me his really beautifully nice written. Of course, this broke a lot of the rules that they talk about how to do a thing. But nevertheless, I took it and I actually created a much simpler one, right? Now, so this is the resume. I will send that to you guys so that if you want to hire a student, here is one student you can hire. Let me see where I am. Okay. Oops. Sorry. A chat. Right. Oops. Where is my chat? Okay. Come on. How come I can't type? Okay, I can type. Whoops. My screen. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay, so I've shared his link. Oh, sorry, that's mine. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Oh, I can't see, sorry. Oh, okay, this one. So I have created one simple one, right? Now, the last one. Can you guys click on that? This about Ali, other, yeah? Then I want to show you what's happening at the back. So here is a resume. No one have actually seen it. Actually, there is. They are on my sway. I sent it to the professor and him. So only 2 persons have actually read it. And suddenly, now there's 8 of you. Is that all? There are how many? There are 47 people in the group, right? Is it? Okay. So if I refresh this, you will see that now there are 13. Okay, and it will go on. And this is the most important thing about Sway. Yes, I have prepared the resume. The resume may not be the best. However, I know that they have 13 views, right? Now imagine if I emailed it to my one customer and suddenly, I emailed to one employer and he gets 13 views. That gives me hope. If, for example, this one, none, that doesn't give me hope. So some of them stuff 55 views, 103 views. You can see a lot of this has readership. Now, when you create a content, one of your most important things to make sure is that you get view, because this helps you to figure out whether the people are going. Now, looking at this, I can tell you that 76%, so because it's short, a lot of people go in, 8 of you do quick read, right? And 7 went down and read his entire thing. So as a resume, as a job seeker, this detail will be very useful. So I can actually come in and help me to go in. So the idea is you need to make sure whatever content that you want to group, that send is important. You want it to be viewed by a lot of others. You make sure you put it in as a sway, right? That's the key thing that I wanted to share. Now I will go through that again. Let me see. So here I am, and we have this particular resume that we have created by Ali, right? I mean for Ali, and where I actually turn a PDF, which is what he gave me, into something that I can track now, right? So that's why when you do sway, it is definitely the far better way to actually go in and do that. So I will share this sway with you, and you will get a lot of resume. You will get to view this as well, right? So the idea is the idea of using sway is to be able to listen, not really to say, because part of the most important part about communication, which is what you're trying to do, is to make sure that you are hitting home run, right? So you want to make sure that it will do it. So sway is very useful when I want to listen to my readers. The second reason why I would want to use sway is that when I want to share that content with a limited time. So if I went in right now and I go back into Ali's resume, and Ali says, well, you can only show it to people during this talk, right? After that, please don't talk. I can just come in and click this, and when I save this, done. The next time you come in, you ask you for a login, and you will not be able to see it afterwards. So I would have essentially taken back that whole resume, right? So if I know I give him for 2 weeks and he doesn't call me back in 2 weeks, I take it back. I don't want my personal content to be sent so that people can ask me to buy whatever stuff that I want, especially when it's so personal information, right? Of course, the idea is that because I shared with that one person, there is also the danger he will share it with his friends. And of course, I would want to know if it's something that is shareable. If something is not shareable, I will be very curious, right? The other thing is that this content, if you were not using a computer, you were using a mobile phone, it will work just as well, right? So that's the beautiful part about it's web responsive, right? And this gives me control over my content. Yeah. So for me, I use Sway for a lot of my marketing material. So I would provide all my stuff, and it will go in and stuff. So one of the key areas is that it has this whole concept of action tabs in there. Very, very powerful, right? And it's really cool. Now, the job of Sway is to aggregate text, pictures, videos, and content into what I call a responsive microsite. This is a small little site that contains one information. If I share this with you right now, which I will, and I put it inside my sharing. Oops. Where is my... Come on. Okay. So I've shared this. So none of you will need to ask me for my PowerPoint. But of course, I can make sure that after that PowerPoint is done, it goes through that whole thing. So you can actually have very good control over how you want to share information, right? It's very, very powerful in that sense, right? And of course, my game is to track how many people, stuff like that. So how do you use Sway, right? So the first thing is that what is Sway? The first thing is it's a free component within Office 365. When you go into Office 365 and you go in under your main thing, chances are you will see Sway or not, right? But if you look at under all apps, right, there will be something here called Sway, right? And this will allow you to get to your Sway. Once you get to your Sway, this is where you are able to do it, yeah? And it has the ability to do three things. It helps you the ability to create from new or create from stuff. So I usually don't use it here. I will use it in my Sway part. I will go right into my Sway, the Sway tab, yeah? When you go into the Sway tab, okay, where is that? This Sway tab, it will come up and you have option. So they are the first option is to create, start with a topic or start with a document, right? So some people use to start with a document. I can take a quotation, press a quotation, and it turns into a particular thing. So that is something that you can definitely do. The other thing is you can start with a topic. Let's say, for example, if I am a teacher and I want to teach the students on, say, the solar way, I can just go in, click on this, and I could say the solar system. And the system will look at Wikipedia, right? Create the solar system. And based on that tells me, this is the solar system, right? And it will give you all kinds of information coming from my particular system, right? So this gives me the ability. We have a question on what's the difference between a two-way to launch Sway, okay? So Office gives you that particular part of going into this Sway, and this comes into, when you go into this Sway, this gives you the full list, yeah. So once you come into this solar system, you can actually go in and say, do something and say, this is to introduce. You can just type. So to make a Sway, there are a few cards. The first card is what we call a title card. Then you have a content card, right? So then you see you have another title card. What does this mean is that when you look at design, you will see that, oh, it has this different section. But if you tap on this little button, this button shows you all the key element, which is the heading. So the heading is actually one of the most important part because it helps you to go in and do that. So this is thing. And you can come in now and you can go into your storyline, right? Whenever you go into something like this, you can always insert, and you can insert content. So the contents are again from the cloud. So I can look at Bing images, right? And Bing images can give me, oh, okay, I put there solar. And then I have all the picture, oh, okay, solar flares. I can come in and build, oh, beautiful solar flares, right? Solar system. So it gives me beautiful picture, all from, oh, come on, Google, okay, beautiful, this is nice. Then I can just drag this over and it gives me a beautiful button, right? So I can add more stuff, more images, and put images, right? And this becomes the whole thing. So that is a very powerful way of actually creating content. Now, how I would use it in a classroom is to show people, if I want to teach a course of how to use the internet intelligently, I would actually run a course using Sway. I would teach them on any subject matter to show them how quickly is it they can pick up information from stuff. Pickit is a place where you can get academic terms, very interesting information, right? They have a lot of other pictures that you can actually get. So again, very, very powerful. So they have a lot of different sources. Flickr, of course, that's the private, the Google images. Again, lots of very, very cool stuff. So you can actually get a lot of things. Other things that I like to do is Jiffies. So there's no link for Jiffy. Okay, of course, YouTube, right? So if I want to go in for YouTube and look at solar system, I can take this and I can add this into my video, right? So this becomes my solar system video. So if you look at it, I'm building a lot of content, right? And this gives me the ability to just cut and paste, and I can go in that thing. But at the same time, I have full control over what I want them to say, right? So discovery, expression, this ties up to the chapters within Wikipedia. So think of it as a taxonomy for all the content that you want. So you can actually create this content and just put this taxonomy and then ask your students to repeat the same thing so that you have complete control over your lesson plan. So, and then the next thing you can do when you want to share it is you can actually think about the styles. So the style is, you can go in, it can be horizontal, which means it's sideways, go like this, or it can be vertical, right? And then they are different styles with different things. So there's this remix button that picks the next style available. So this one comes with a back-end, ground, and what have you. Or I don't like that, I can change it and I can build a different one. This one, simple one, yeah. And the key thing is that you can actually do that. So when you come into here, one of the things you can actually do is actually control how pictures are being shared. So when pictures are being shared, they have a different size, whether it's small or mid-size or full page. So you can actually choose whichever format that you want. But what is interesting is that if you choose this, you can actually set a focal point. So the focal point is that you want to make sure that, like, for example, this is what you're going to see is here. If I want to see this point, I just click on this. It will actually show me this particular thing. If I want to come in and put it here, it will go here. If I want to go into focus here, it will actually, so you can, by selecting this, you can control how it looks on the screen. And this is one of the things you got to preview the way you look at it, because not the entire image is actually seen, unless you want to say, hey, I want everything. Then it becomes everything. So it all depends on how you want to set it. So very, very cool way of actually doing things. And this helps you to control how things look. See that? So when I want to share this, I can just click this. I have a few ways to share it. I can share it with specific group. This means it's internal. All the groups within my entire organization, within my school. Or I can set it with only those with the link, right? But you have to be part of my domain. Or I can specifically put it with anybody, which is anonymous, right? Now on this option, I have I can even add password, and I can see whether people, I want them to see whether they want to be able to share that information, right? So it's now if I want, I can actually go into collab mode. So for the teachers, and I built a topic outline, and I want everyone to do it. I just give them the ability to edit, right? So, but this works far better for internal because everyone needs to have an account. So once I click this and I send this, I am able to go in and send my thing. Yeah. Question, for math, we need to explain and show step by step. Cannot read, right? This is the keyword. You are absolutely right. You will not put an entire topic. What you want to do is you want to put one subject. Sway should be very, very micro. You shouldn't make the lesson. In other words, I want to give you one topic, and this topic you can learn on your own, right? The whole idea for Sway is that it is not guided. The idea for Sway is that it's beforehand. I send it to you, you take a look at it, and then we come back, I facilitate. What did you learn? What was your challenge? So you wouldn't want to do this by saying, here's a Sway, you go and play, and I will see you later. No, you send Sway first. After looking at their reaction, you have a session and say, look, let's see who's having the problem, right? So that is the idea. So I've shared this link with you, and if we see it long enough, I will be able to see my solar system. I will come back and I can see if anybody have actually read it. Yeah. No. Okay. So nobody have actually read it, but it will as you go in, you can actually go in and edit and do more things. Yeah. So that is one of the key area about it. Yeah. Okay, this is one of the problem about Sway, because it's not a presentation tool. It's more of a reading tool, right? The idea is for me to get you to read, right? Yeah, then you can't start back at the same place. You have to go back all the way. So there are many other ways to use Sway, but what I would do is that, let's say if I do a field trip, right? I will ask the students to take their own photograph and build field trips, and I will take the one that I write and send it as a story to the parents. So I will actually do it as newsletter or what have you. Just now the EduCourse report that Adrian shared, I would actually have created as a newsletter, and then I would make sure how many people have actually read it, right? So that is the idea. So for me, you can use it for digital marketing. So for example, if you want to sell a different class, or let's say for example, MCKL want to showcase that they have this modern hybrid classroom, it will be excellent to build that. And then you make sure that they are action proposal, right? So the idea is that now when you create this content, it's easy to create, but more importantly, you are able to know when people are reading it, right? That's the important part. So it's a storytelling tool, very, very easy to do. And the most important thing is to look at the flow, which means the heading. How are the heading being organized, right? So for me, the idea is that because I use a lot of content from all over the place, you can actually create all this content, just reuse some of the content. Some of the contents I reuse are even content from Power BI, right? I can use Power BI to actually do this thing. So this was done last year. We had people from 35 countries. We had 36 talks. This year we had a lot more. We have 62 countries and 48 sessions. So of course we have education track. So this is a fully functional system because I can go in and I can view from look at this. This is a Power BI report, right? So these are all the topics coming from which country. And you know what? India has 23 topics. Wow. See? So these are where the speakers are coming from, right? So and these are where where my participants are coming from. And if I look at each country, I can drill down to each country, right? Really cool. So these are kind of things you can actually, you want to share Sway reports, especially anonymous one, is really, really powerful. But of course, the main thing that I use this for is to be able to do analytics, right? To find out what is happening with my content. So if you want to share something and you don't want to care whether people read it or not, don't use Sway. It's only important if you think it is important for you to go in, because there are many other tools that allow you that share things more easily. But what I like about it is the fact that I can know how many people access my content, how much time did they spend on it, did they go through the entire thing, and in many ways, how many times they watch it, right? That's very, very important. Yeah. So, but let's say, for example, if I send it to you now, which I did, right? If I look at my Sway counter, come on. Okay. If I look at my Sway counter, sorry, right now, have anybody watched it? Let me see. You have to, for the analytics, you have to have sway.office.com. By the way, it's only for those with education will have this option. So I know that there are 10 persons who have read it. I just shared this with you. This one, only one person. Guess what? If I look at this analytics, right, there are things that I only know on a high level, that there are 10 views, 3 minutes on an average, okay? And they've only watched 50% of it, right? It doesn't count me because I'm the creator, which is very important, right? But there are some things that it doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you who read it. You just know that there are people. So it's what we call a summary analytics. So it means much more for people who are doing what we call advertising, because you can only see the big picture. You can't drill down to an individual person, right? So that is the key thing. So always be mindful that it doesn't show you everything. Yeah, it only shows you from a concept of your audience being one person, right? So again, sharing, you can share with specific person, people within your organization, any one link, or with password, right? And of course, the keyword is it can be unshared. That's the keyword, yeah? So because of that, I believe it's very important time when you share, make sure you have a time limit. Don't share. The idea is that you want the content to remain used, yeah? So the other thing is, when you want to distribute it, you may want to consider using social media to distribute it, which I actually do. And for things that are really more sensitive, send them a password. Tell them they need the password. That actually demonstrates how privileged are they to get your information, right? So that is the thing. So in this video, I have a complete guide on how to build Sway, right? And that is a really long 19 video and stuff. So best practices. Okay. One of the biggest challenge for me is that I create a lot. And if I don't have a good naming convention, it will be very focused, right? So the other thing is, remember, your content is always more important than the format, because the format can be changed very quickly. Don't focus on format, focus on your content, right? The other thing is that sometimes I need to create a lot of content. Like, for example, someone wants my business card, I will send them a profile. And I will send them one copy of the profile to only one person. Then when I read, I will know exactly how many people have read it, how long he has read it. So that is the important thing. So that means I actually go in and I create a duplicate, yeah. So when I come into my Sway, I start with a template. So I actually create a template. So I have several templates, or a Sway commercial template, an education template, or a digital transformation template. So what happens is that when you are on a Sway, you can do this as save it as a template. Once you save it as a template, it will appear on your template. So when I want to say I want to create a talk on digital transformation, right? I want to create I can create a digital transformation, and once I press, it will create a brand new one for me. And if I share this, right? If I share this, this will be one complete new one, which I can say to everybody. So this is a digital transformation for education. Educators. Yeah, I would actually go in. Of course, I can still change it. So say, for example, I want to put in a nice picture, right? I can go in and change the video or what have you. Let me see, where is... Because I'm on a full screen mode. Where are my videos? Right. Okay, so say for example, I want to view a nice picture raising tool, and I can put it in there. So this becomes my video goes in, right? I delete this, right? So this is a brand new video. So when I share this, anyone with link, I share this with you guys. This becomes a brand new video. And this is never shared before. So when you click on this, you will be seeing this for the first time, right? Yeah. Okay. So can you all click on that? So when I come back to this particular sway, it will be another brand new sway. So using it as a template is very, very powerful because I can keep on sharing information very, very quickly with that. Yeah. So, wow, 4 people. See how fast it is sent, right? And it has everything, all my content. So now when I run an event, immediately I can see there's four people coming in. So this is one of the coolest thing about Sway, right? So in fact, I use Sway so much, I actually create lists in SharePoint, right? So when I come to my site, under my marketing site, I will have all my Sway links. So I would actually list out all the links I have in Sway, and I would share it together, and I would track. So then I can actually put it into each, and each one of these will be sent over to whoever my client. And I will have a tracking, and I will always keep what was the last number of reader, and I will update that information so that I will always know when is my information. So the whole idea is to, because it doesn't give you that information, I need the data, I can actually track on that particular area. So I'm not going to cover all the features. So my talk will have all the features on how you use it. So they are actually special video. The other one that I really like is this concept of having what we call a before after. So this is a picture of Singapore in 1973, and look at the way he has changed, right? So you can actually take a picture and you can do a cover. This is a solar, this is the Arctic Circle, and one of the view on Arctic Circle, and you can see previously it was all ice, and right now you can see the ocean. So this is fantastic. So if you are able to get 2 pictures, you can actually do a comparison on that. It's really, really cool. Right, so I have more sharing stuff on how schools are using Educator, and you can use it for content aggregation. So this is a lot of materials, and I've shared a lot of materials. But I think it would be more fun if I listen to some of your questions and try to address some of your answers. Yeah. So
Rico, there are some questions in the chat.
Okay, let me just yeah. I just realized I'm on a different mode. So on sharing mode, I cannot see so quickly. A. So where are the questions? Sorry.
Okay, there's a question. This template is already created. Is there a link on how to create the new sway?
Is there a link on how to create a new sway? Sorry, I think when you say this template is already created, it must be an error message on their thing. So creating the new sway is creating from here. There's always this create new. This always create from start. Right? So this always creates something right from the start. And then it will create a blank new one, which you have to then delete, right? So the template here is things that, let's say, for example, you use this and you want this to be a template. You have to save this as a template, then it will come down here. You will save a copy. Then you use this to create a template, right? So for example, if I want this to be my resume, I will put this as a template. I will save this as a template, right? So this is how I would actually do it. So I would say I would call it Ali Ada resume. Or I would just call it my resume. Yeah? And I will basically, I will save this as a template, right? This becomes my template. So this is my resume. So I created this resume and it has a template now. So the template is actually my resume. So when I want to apply for a job, right? So I will come in and say, I will go in and say, okay, I will create this, and I start creating this. And then I will go in and then say, okay, I will say Ali Ada for Microsoft. I will actually go in and do something like this, so that it will be say. And if I wanted to, I can even go in and put the company logo, right? So that it is customized, right? Images, yeah. And I put this early order for comments, right? Sorry. Take a look at it. Does it look good? Okay, this is my thing. Maybe I change my style. Just try if different style looks better. Right? Okay, I want it vertical. I will come in and do something like that. And then I will share this. So then if I share this now, that template will be shared only by one person. I mean, to share by one person. So when you guys click on it, I will be able to know only this copy is actually shared. Right? That's how I would actually do it. Yeah. You see, okay. So
Rico, the next question is that can people save it in their laptop?
No. And this is by design. This is by design, right? Because the whole idea is, right now, if I want to take back Ali Ada's resume, I just unshare it. Remember, the whole idea is you own it. You are the one in control.
But you can make it editable, right, by other people?
Yes, that's right. So that's the thing. When you share, okay, you can share whether people can view or edit. There are a little bit more options, right? But the other important thing is that when you do this settings for this way, you can say whether when people can duplicate. I don't want to let them duplicate. I don't want them to show the information, and I want it to be autoplay so that it can actually run. Boom, I can go and do that. So once I
Are
do
you able
that,
to allow them to print?
yes, I can allow them to print. That's right.
And allow them to print.
Yeah, I can even allow them to export. I'm not sure what happened when they do export. I haven't tried this export, but usually I don't let
probably
them.
can export to the PDF, if I'm not
Oh,
wrong.
okay. Yeah, but usually the idea is I do not let them print and view. In fact, I use it to keep the content, my content private. That is the keyword. But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.